Okay, so I am, Tony's right. I am in this space. I'm gonna do a video about the books that I read over the summer. I had a summer TBR that shot to hell, but because I'm going back to school, it's not technically fall yet. It's gonna be fall in like late September. I still have like a month and a half ish to do summer TBR. I've been making my way through a poetry book. I haven't written that much, and I kind of feel like I'm in like I was in a slump. I think I'm more gaining clarity about what I want to do and kind of making sure I have things set up to where I can kind of just go forward. I'm not worrying about a job. I'm not worrying about finances. I'm not worrying about what I need to do. I'm literally stable and ready to go. And I kind of feel like I'm in that space now. So I am, I said this on my, for a video that's on my other channel. I have like several other channels, but on my like lifestyle channel, I said I'm in the space of purging. And purging for me means getting stuff out of the way so that I can like do what I need to do, like physically get rid of clutter, start cleaning everything because I'm going back to school, so I have even less time to do stuff. And I tend to procrastinate anyway, but I feel like I don't want to like spend all my time trying to like do basic stuff that should have been done before I went back to school. So all the tasks that I can do before going back to school, like I'm trying to do, get my finances in order, paying credit cards, doing all the kind of stuff, like making sure like that stuff is in motion. So when I like finish my full year, my full academic year and graduate, like I'll be set up in a better spot. So part of this is also figuring out what I want to do post graduation, but not necessarily like an exact like company or something like that, but I have an idea of what I want to do. Because I'm interested in going to law school, I have to kind of figure out what I want to do in that gap year. And so I'm formulating ideas about that as well because I don't want it to be like I'm open to opportunities and things like that, but I don't want certain opportunities anymore. And so I'm trying to shut the door on those kind of things. And I think when you're getting into a thesis year like this, you want to have a little bit more clarity and a little bit more intentionality about what you're starting to take on. Because if you don't already have a job that you're in, that you want to stay in, you're going to have to find a position or start your own enterprises. And if you don't have any idea what you want to do, one, why are you in the program? I'm just going to be there. I'm just be real. Because these are just not programs that you need to be wasting money on. I'm just saying. But you want to be able to like work towards those things. And if you need to write it down, you need to do that. If you need to talk it out with someone, you need to do that. If you need to storyboard it, you got to do that. Pinterest it or something like that. I did an intense search before of like teaching positions and things like that, and I'm circling back around to that idea. It would just have to be where I don't have teaching experience because I like I tried like to apply for the thing. However, I like didn't see the date that everything needed to be turned in by. So when I went to go back to it, it was like past, and I was like, well, never mind. That was my signal. That wasn't the path I needed to take this semester, which is fine. So I am really excited about being able to move forward with what I want. And I've been talking to somebody like a class, former classmate, still talk to them. They've graduated. You know who you are. But we've just been talking about what you're doing after school and stuff like that, and the preparations that you need to make, and all these sorts of things. And it's kind of like a weird feeling of knowing that this is a reality. Like you went into the program and now you're leaving you're preparing to, excuse me, to leave this program. And it's like, wow, like where did this go? And it's kind of like every time there's a new class that comes in, you're just like, man, I'm getting older. And I'm not like fresh and new and like a baby anymore. And it's just a weird feeling. And I didn't think I would be this excited, because I'm really excited actually to go back. I think excited to just get it started so we can like finish this. I can like fucking finish this shit. Like, let me fucking finish. I am very excited. I've always liked going back to school. I think it's not like it's my safe space and everything is chaotic in my house. But it has been a space. I do like going to get like education, and I like learning environments like in the school college setting, because learning on my own self-paced is good for like certificates and stuff like that, but it wouldn't work for me trying to write. That's why I didn't choose a low residency. It's just I want to be in person. I want to get the feedback. I want the energy of working with people in person. And so yeah, there's that. But I'm trying to get the intentionality down and write down the things that I want to do and kind of knock them off the list and shore up loose ends. And so another thing that I need to do is revamp my like CV. So I have a resume and I want to convert it to a CV, which is not that hard because it's really the same thing. The only thing is that the CV is just like what people use more like abroad. And here we're like resume. But for what I want to do, I want to have fun. First of all, I feel like resumes should be beautiful. I don't understand what this ugly ass shit is when it comes to just a white piece of paper and some like Times New Roman. I get it, but I don't. I'm like, I want to show personality. And I kind of just feel like, why aren't we allowing that when it comes to design? Like, I feel like you should be able to express yourself. This is like one area where I feel like you should be able to express yourself. You should be able to show off your design. You should be able to show off your palette. You should be able to show off what you are and who you are. And the fact that we're still having these like old stodgy like CVs and resumes and even websites for that matter, I'm like, oh, where's the originality, as we use a template, right? But I'm always just like, why? Because I used to like think about that when I was designing stuff, and I like remember I sent it somewhere for review, and oh yeah, it was my advisor for like college, and he was just like, this is just, it's like too much, like essentially. And I was like, bummer. I feel like you should be able to communicate effectively, but I just also feel like we're in the phase where like things should be beautiful, and I don't understand like why a resume can't be beautiful and nice and looks good and has all this cool stuff. And but yeah, but one of those things is like getting my resume CV together, and I am in a phase where like so it's not that I'm gonna omit jobs that don't align, but I am really into the phase and the space of things that aren't lining up need to like move over a little bit and take up less space, and the things that matter and I want to explore and get right, those are coming to the forefront. And I kind of just feel like also I don't want a resume that feels hodgepodgey to other people and reads as hodgepodgey, because one of the things that I've struggled with when gaining employment is that my experiences are in very different industries. So I have administrative assistant experience because I've worked like at a city agency, at a state agency, different capacities. The names are wildly different, but the capacities are the same. It's basically customer service, answering calls, sending out information, collecting information, things like that. One happened to be for pools, like recreation, like parks and recs type things. And then the other was like business tax. And then like the job I'm working now is in admissions, but it's like a federal work study thing, but it's still admin. And then I have jobs like pharmacy technician, which is totally different than that experience because it's dealing with actual medications and the setting is very different. It's usually high pace, high impact, a lot of interfacing with people in a different capacity, a different population set. And then I was a massage therapist, which was again a very different space, more closely related to pharmacy, and that I was working with people who had probably took medicine, had medical conditions, and things like that. But that one, the intimacy was bumped up way, way more because I'm working on someone in a room and we're the only people generally in that room. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting to have all of these things, and it's very hard to convey the fact that I can be in all of these industries and have taken skills from all of them and move forward. It's such a shame. And this is not just for writers. I feel like anyone who's had multiple industry type experiences with their career, it's so hard to then market that. And it's almost like you get pigeonholed or you get rejected because they're just like, there's this inability to see how your previous skill sets translate over. And it's just like, to me, I'm tired of trying to explain that they translate over. The only thing with me when it comes to my resume is that I then would have a bunch of gaps that I have to explain. So I might just do brief little blurbs about it and then go from there. Like my resume, when I turn it into people, cool. For my website, I probably won't put it on there. I'll just focus on like education and the publications and things like that. Because like no one needs to really know that I was a pharmacy technician. I can put that in my bio. No one needs to know I was a massage therapist. Like I'll put that in my bio. But yeah, so really trying to hone in on things like that and then hone in on how to market these skills that seem less advantageous or less describable, I guess, or maybe even less appreciated by people outside of the fields. I'm thinking about those things, but I'm trying to move more intentionally and not just like take jobs, but honing in on jobs that I think will add to the skill sets that I have. Not that I haven't gained skill sets, but I think for where I want to go, a more targeted set of skills is what I desire. If I want to be in publishing, more editing, more editorial, more positionings, more reader positionings, things like that. I want to be able to say I have way more experience in that and taking the initiative to create projects that I know I can use in the future. So that's kind of where I am. I'm very excited for the semester and I'm clearing out a lot of the things that I need to clear out so that I can go and graduate, So that's about it. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.